I'm going to help answer the question on how we are calculating the interest and the future maturity value of our loans on problems 10.4, 5, and 6. You can see that I've got 10.4 and 6 filled in here. I'm going to take those out and we're going to talk our way through calculating them. And then I think 10.5 will just come real easy for you guys. Okay, a little bit confusing maybe because we're using Excel and formulas are built in for us. So there's not much for us to do here except for make sure we put in the numbers correctly, but let's make sure we understand how the math is happening. So on problem 4, our principal is 1,000. I will eventually put the numbers up here in the yellow boxes, but I'm just going to work down at the bottom here for a second so we can talk our way through this. Our interest rate is 8%. Remember, that's an annual percent. And we borrowed on March 8th, 3/8, and we'll say it's this year. And we paid on June 9th. And we are just going to use Excel to figure out the difference between those two dates. So we want to subtract, the first number by the last number. So you start with the big number and subtract by the little number to get 93 days that we had this loan. Okay, so it's 93, think of this as 93 over 360, a percent of the year that we had this loan. That makes sense, right? Because it was March, April, May, June, 3 months, and that is 1/4 of the year. So you'll see as we do this calculation, it's about 1/4 of the year. Okay, so if we take 93 and divide that by 360, our annual number of days, you see that turns into about 1/4, right? A little bit over 25% of the year, and that's the number of days we had the loan. Okay, so now if we take our 1,000, start over here with an equal sign, 1,000 times 8% is our full year, and then times the portion of the year that we actually had the loan, we should come up with the interest rate that we need to pay for our 3-month loan, $20.67. Now, the formula that the book has in here for interest does just what we did. Interest, or the principal, times the annual interest rate times the portion of the year that we actually used it. And sometimes I think it's helpful for you to put a parenthesis around the portion of the year so that that makes sense to you. So first you're calculating an annual percent, and then you're multiplying that annual percent by the portion of the year you actually had the loan. Now when I hit enter, the number is not going to change in H6. Well, it won't change in H6 because we don't have numbers in there yet, but the parentheses just help you visually. Let's now plunk in our numbers, see if we calculated it right down below. We borrowed it on 3/8 and we repaid it on 6/9. 93 days. The interest was calculated for us at $20.67, and then our future value then at maturity is the principal plus the interest, so $1,020.67. Okay, hope this helps. Oh yeah, let's do number 6 too. And we can do number 6 down on our scratch pad too. So on number 6 we had a loan of $1,200. The annual interest rate was 12%. We took out the loan on July 7th. We'll say this year, and we're going to repay it on January 10th next year. And we want to subtract this the ending date by the beginning date. So we had our loan for 187 days. Then we need to calculate what percentage of a year is 187 days. It's a little over half, right? Whoops, I can type. So just a smidge over half of the year. Okay, and then calculating the whole banana, our principal times our rate times, and I'm going to put in a parenthesis, our yeah, I already calculated that. Never mind, I already calculated the portion of the percent. So I didn't need to, sorry. You probably heard my brain spinning while I was doing that. We already calculated the percent of the year that we used the loan. It's just a little over a half. And so our math is just the principal times the rate times the portion of the year that we had it. Okay, so $74.80. And then our future value would be 1,200 times 74.80. Let me plunk it in here and make sure it works. I'm going to just copy these because those should be right. Okay. I hope this helps.